Hi, everybody. Coach Brien Shamp here. It is Sunday, and I am not Lori, if you don't know. Today we're going to be doing a self massage, stretching, breathing session. I invite you all to uh, put on the chat box if you want to focus on any specific injuries. Some of you have already typed in some things. So I have a few folks out there that kind of got here before I started the recording that wanted to focus on heel pain, some knee issues, some specific back pain issues. Um, and then Bob was even talking about how do we reduce belly fat? Well, that's not exactly a massage issue. That is a nutrition and lifestyle habit issue. So that one's a little bit tough. But there's no such thing as spot reducing, as Bob said. But just to kind of touch on that quickly, because most people join gyms and start up with trainers and things like that because they want to lose belly fat and weight, right? So remember, stress reduction is the key to that. So just touching on that briefly, whatever we can do to reduce stress is going to reduce your belly fat. That's the end result. Belly fat and weight gain is a side effect of hormones gone wrong. Too much stress. Your body is just not capable of handling anymore, and that's kind of an issue we're having right now, right? I look at Eva right now. That girl's looking good. She's lost like 25 pounds or so. She's out there right now. Is it 25, Eva? And you guys actually know what? You can pull yourself off mute if your environment's not noisy.
23 pounds
23
from,
pounds. So she's looking.
from mid-April. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm sure you have some secrets to share with us, but at the end of the day, it's
Your
really much of
classes.
my classes. That's great. So that's awesome. So it's exercise, but I'm just going to touch on Eva for a second here. So it's not just exercise, right? You change your diet, right?
I did,
Yes.
and I cut in carbs during dinner time.
Yes.
The portions for carbs were smaller,
Yes.
and dinner time was before 7 every day.
Got
That
it.
was something that, yeah.
There you go. So strategic, guys. So we just need strategies. We need routines. We need to be consistent, and we need to be focused on these little things. So I often talk about, who you are and who are you and who do you want to be. So people that are out of shape and overweight tend to not be focused and consistent. And that's just kind of what it is on these little things. So the more consistent you are with things like eating earlier, that's a big one, by the way. So if you eat later, you tend to see that weight gain on the scale, right? I know I see it. And a really good thing to do is if you want to lose weight and belly fat, guys, measure your weight and body fat every day. Get a Renpho scale. Renpho, Renpho scale. Measure yourself every day. And so that's a key one, Bob, to answer your question. But be consistent, be focused, create routines. And what we're going to talk about today is a routine for keeping your muscles and joints healthy. That's a big one, right? Because people have really great intentions of working out and joining gyms and doing stuff, but all of a sudden we get injured. And then we don't really want to work out, or we can't work out, right? What we're going to do today is going to be the key to keeping you healthy and fit from a joint and muscular standpoint. We're going to talk about posture, breathing, stretching, all those things. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Bella just put a note in: best practice exercises for those with knee issues. So definitely talk about that. But just remember routine, and the key to all of this and not getting injured is keeping your stress down. And I would say number one is your mindset. Mindset above all. Okay, and Lori gets a lot into that. She talks a lot about the spirituality with our yoga practice, but mindset is everything. We just gotta be more positive, because when we are stressed and overwhelmed, we create a lot of tension in our bodies, and then we need to stretch more, and then we need to massage more. We need more therapists. So mindset is everything. Breathing is number two. Okay, so we're going to incorporate breathing with everything we do. All right, number three is hydration. Okay, all of these are good for keeping pain away, as well as reducing belly fat, body fat, and weight. Okay, so it's all the same. Number four is sleep consistency, quality of sleep. We got to dial that in. Go to bed around the same time, wake up around the same time. And I'm going to touch on one last thing: is your food. Eva talked about it. Let's keep those carbs out at nighttime. I'm not I'm a fan of eating carbs, actually, gluten-free carbs, that is, like rice and quinoa, fruits and vegetables and things like that. What's up, Dane and Rochelle? But we've got to make sure we don't eat too many carbs at nighttime because that throws off your physiology's hormone balance, okay? So a lot of times women, especially women, wake up between 1 and 3 in the morning because they eat too many carbs and sugar, okay? So I'm going to keep that simple. I love what Eva said. Just keep the carbs down. Let's focus on protein, vegetables, and good fats, but have some carbs earlier in the day. Okay, so that's a really key thing. So I just want to touch on those things, and but those things relate to reducing muscle pain, recovering from your workouts, as well as helping with our belly fat. It's all one and the same. Okay, so let's get to it, guys, with the massage piece. I want to start with, I'm going to see if you can see my mat here effectively. Yes, you can. Okay. All right, so what I want to do here is, I know Rochelle out there and Dane, you guys got some golf balls or some, so I want you guys to grab a foam roll. So Eva, you got a foam roll? Tell me you got a foam roll. Yes, please. So so I have different devices here. I think you can see them on to my right. I have different foam rolls, right? Different balls. All of these are really good to have. So let's get, not today, but if you don't have like various forms of balls here, like maybe get a bigger softball or a lacrosse ball so we can get into these areas. If you don't have all this stuff, it's totally fine. We're gonna just play around a little bit. What I want to start with is this, I actually implemented indirectly. I am responsible indirectly for bringing foam rolling into Major League Baseball indirectly. So I've been doing this for a while. Okay, because a guy that I was working with, a professional baseball player, we have been doing this for years with our athletes, and he was like the first person. He played for the Texas Rangers, and he was foam rolling. Everybody kind of laughed at him, but it's something that I told him to do in preparation for baseball. And then he was doing well. The Rangers went to the World Series that year, and then sure enough, everybody on the team's foam rolling. So that was kind of my indirect claim to fame that no one knows. So anyway, so here's what I want to do. Whenever I go into a team environment, I'm trying to convince 15, 16-year-old or college kids the importance of this stuff, because it's easy to just go to the workout, right? Because we just like, it's not that important. Let's stand up, guys, real quick. So this is a test that I do. I usually say, who's the tightest guy here on the team? And people raise their hands. And I say, okay, show me. So here's just a quick little assessment to kind of show you guys what we're capable of achieving in a short period of time. Let's just let your body fall and notice where your hands fall. So right now, if I do this, and I'm not trying to overly stretch here, I feel my knuckles going to the ground. My knuckles here, okay? And I can't put my entire palm down. How about you? So when I see some tight athletes, they usually have their hands like somewhere around here, like in the middle of their shins. I tell you, there's a lot of people that are really tight out there. How about you, Dane? You're a little bit tight, right? So you can look at my spine as well. Can you see how my spine bends and relaxes? Some people are here, right? Dane's are pretty tight, and Samara's a little bit tight in that upper back, right? Yeah, see how your upper, I don't know if you can tell, Samara, but you can't, it's hard to see yourselves, but like Linda's a really good example. She's really flexible. Eva's really good. Dane can need some work. A little bit better now, but it's still tight, okay? And Samara, you're pretty tight in that upper mid back, okay? So I can tell what's going on there just from doing something simple like this. These are assessments, but just notice where your hands go, okay? Now slowly come out of that, and let's grab some kind of ball. Okay, some kind of ball. I'm going to use, I normally use a golf ball. We're going to massage the arches, okay? It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to use, this is actually made for the foot. For who said they had heel pain? I can't remember. But this is, you don't need to buy one of these. But a golf ball is fine. This was made for plantar fasciitis and heel issues. So it doesn't matter though. That works, that little thing you had, Samar, that works, that little ball-y thing. So grab that. And then for Patricia, that ball is not going to be good. Patricia's going to do old-fashioned way. I want you to get in here, Patricia, and I want you to work on your feet with your hands, okay? So again, the hands are, the best thing. But you guys who have golf balls and stuff, let's just go ahead and use the ball, okay? The hands are, you got to work a little more. So and always remember, massage is going to give you an increased range of motion well beyond what stretching can give you. And that may be a surprise to some of you. I know because you're You guys are normal participants in a yoga session. But if we can do the massage, you're going to be able to relax the tissues much more than stretching will ever give you. Just kind of keep that in mind. If we do them both, even better. Okay? But if I was to say, if I was to invest my time once a week in yoga, or if I had the funds to invest in a massage therapist once a week to get in my body, I'm going to get much greater results from the massage therapist. A good massage therapist, that is. So kind of keep that in mind. Massage trumps flexibility. Massage trumps stretching for mobility. So let's find those tender spots. What we're looking for is some painful spots. All right? Here's kind of the key thing about self-massage. If it doesn't hurt, let's move on. Okay? If it doesn't it doesn't hurt a lot, just a little bit of tenderness. Let's go to the other side. Okay? So look around and feel for those tender spots. So a lacrosse ball is okay. A golf ball is probably the best. You get really specific. But using your fingers in there, get in there pretty good. Samar, are you tight in there? Okay? So this is like number one. Number one, let's get those feet. Inhale, exhale. So here, I'm going to give this to Chris. She's going to be joining us for you. All right, I'm going to use a lacrosse ball. I haven't really used a lacrosse ball too much, but yeah, that works pretty good. So yeah, Samar, you got that ball that you have too, should be fine. But yeah, get in those feet, guys. Now I studied, acupressure, and there's very specific points that lead to healing all over the body. Some of you have been to acupuncture, right? Raise your hand if you've been to acupuncture before. Okay, so it's like you could have back problems, right, Samara? And you go to an acupuncturist, and they don't put needles in your back. You notice that? They put needles everywhere else, like your feet, your ears, your hands, your belly. So where we have pain is often, this is a really key thing, where we have pain is often not the problem. Remember that. Or where we have pain is often not the problem. Okay, so let's test. Good morning, Idris. So we're going to test right now. Bring your feet together and do the exact same thing, and we're going to see what we accomplished. Okay? So we did this before, and now I want you to see how much easier is it, or maybe there's no change, but how much easier is it to get your palms to the ground? So for me, I'm not quite there yet. My palms I can force it. See what I'm doing? I'm forcing it down, but my fingertips are kind of comfortable here. So can you go a little bit lower? Does your back flex a little bit more? Does anybody notice a difference? Raise your hand. Okay. Oh, pretty good. Okay, good. So I usually have people actually take a pen when we first start this, because it's hard to exactly know. And you got to, and I have them I put a mark right here. This is something to do with, you guys have kids and you want to explain like the importance of foam rolling. You can actually do this and show people like, whoa, I just got more flexible and all I did was my feet. So, and the reason that works is because your feet are connected to your head, right? The fascia, it's just a ball, like it's a ball of connective tissue that wraps all the way around everything. So getting your feet has an outcome in your flexibility, right? So really important. Something, again, that would be my number one thing to do for heel pain, ankle pain, calf pain, knee pain, and back pain, okay? So I just kind of, everybody who has any issues at all, do your feet. And if you didn't see any change with that, then that's okay, because we're going to move on. Let's go to the calves now. Let's take your foam roll, any foam roll you want. This is a very hard foam roll. This is a PVC pipe that you can get at Home Depot, okay? Or you can get it whatever you got in your area. Home Depot, Orchard Supply, whatever, Lowe's. It's a PVC pipe. They'll even cut it for you. This foam roll, let's all make it to the ground right now on your back. This foam roll has got some different textures on it, so that's a different experience as well. And then we have our traditional foam roll, which is foam. Okay, this is going to be a little bit softer. All right, and this is the long foam roll. I can do a lot more with this, but I can't travel with it. Okay, so but there's some cool things we can do with the long one. That's why I asked you guys if you had these different tools. Okay, so let's go ahead and get after the calves now. Okay, so let's make our way to the ground. All righty, and I'm going to put my legs right on top. So this is even though we started with the heel, If I'm running low on time, I'm going to probably do this one first because most problems seem to be related to the calves. Okay, so if you came to me for back and knee pain, Samar, for example, I would look at your calves pretty early in the assessment. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm taking one leg and I'm gonna put it on the roll, and then put the top leg right on top, and I'm driving it down, and I'm gonna rotate a little bit right and left. So this doesn't work very long. You see what I'm doing? I'm lifting my butt up and I'm putting all the weight on my arms. That doesn't really work very effectively because my arms are going to give out and I'm not going to be able to do it very long. just make it easy. Right to left. You can go both and just kind of survey that scene, figure out where you want to focus your energy. And I want to get all the way from this Achilles tendon here, and then I want to get all the way up. I want to get the inside, and I kind of a little bit on the outside too, but 80% of the population pronates. Their feet they go in. Okay? All right, Amina, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning. So now while we do this, I did talk about it on the golf ball massage piece, but you're going to like when you find a tender spot, right? Martina, what happens when you have a tender spot, guys? Anybody, you can unmute yourself and let me know. What
Stay
happens
there.
when you have pain? What was that?
Stay there.
Oh, yeah, you want to stay there. Yeah. So if you have
tighten
pain,
up. Yeah. You tighten up.
you tighten up. Yeah. So if I'm tender, if I find a spot that's pretty tender, I actually tighten up. So what can we do to relax the tissue?
Breathe.
Breathe. Yes. And that is it. And that's why breathing is number one on my primal needs coaching model. If we breathe more when we're in pain, if we breathe more when we're anxious, if we breathe more when we're overwhelmed, the body relaxes, and then I don't have to do this stuff. So I'm a big fan of not doing self-massage and stretching, and that's kind of a different strategy for life. So just kind of pay attention to when you're in pain, when you're overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, frustrated. You will go like this, and you'll hold your breath. You'll do it right now too, okay? So let's find those spots, become aware of them, and then notice what happens to your breath. It becomes shallow, and then breathe, okay? And breathe from here. All the stuff that Lori talks about every Sunday. Belly, rib cage, expansion, inhaling, and exhaling. Okay? So let's go to the other side. Other side. I know this stuff is a bit monotonous and another thing to do, but the payoffs are amazing. Okay? So find those tender spots. If I was to push your leg right here, you would be in a lot more pain. My massage therapist actually does that on a massage table as well. She'll pull out a foam roll. Even though she is massaging me, she'll occasionally do something like this and rotate me right to left. So let's keep finding those tender spots, everybody. Breathe. So remember, 20 to 30 seconds on the tender spots. Keep going, couple more. So now again, maybe you don't have a foam roll. Maybe you're a computer and you want to multitask. You're looking at you're in a conference call, maybe on Zoom. You can take your hands and get your fingers into that calf. And that works even better because I can get more specific with my thumbs. So just remember, you can do this stuff at all times. You could be working on your computer and rolling a golf ball or lacrosse ball on your feet. Take your shoes off. So I can be, you ladies out there, especially women, are really good at multitasking. Amina's got 5 kids and still has lost 20-something pounds. So you guys can do 2 things at once pretty well, right? Patricia, can you imagine having 5 kids? 3 more right now. No. Amina's a champion right there. She's
Wow. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed every time I see her. All right, so let's check it out. So that was the calves. Let's stand it up. So let's check it out. And half of the reason why I'm doing this too is I want to prove to you that I can increase your flexibility without ever stretching. Okay, so there's a purpose here. But if we stretch some things too, we're going to get even better results. Feet together. Let the head fall. Can you touch lower now? And try to do the exact same thing. Feet together. And exhale and breathe. So this is the ragdoll. We're just letting your body go. Hang out there for a moment. Let your head fall. Notice how your back feels. Can you get a little bit lower? Notice how your neck feels. So Mina, you're a little bit tight there. Yes. Okay, so what we're doing, Amina, is we're going over the key things that can make you more flexible. So your back is tight, Amina, for sure. She's kind of here instead of here. We're going to address the low back, but sometimes when we get the calves and the feet, the back goes down farther. Okay, so just remember that. All right. Does anybody notice a difference in their calves? Raise your hand. Yes. All right.
Brien, my entire calves are sore. Like they all hurt. Like every spot is hurt. It hurts.
I know, because yeah, Chris says, well, mine is too. So here's the thing. I know you're not doing this. You know why? Because you're sore. That's how it works. Okay. So here's a good example. Okay, and I don't want to talk too much. Let's actually roll on the hip flexors next while I'm talking. So I'm going to give you a good example. So. All right, the hip flexors are probably my third most important spot right here. So if you feel these bones here, right, we got two bones on right in front of the hips. This is where a lot of your muscles attach. So your back muscles. So Samara was saying, oh, my back hurts when I finish workouts. Well, these muscles attach to the low back. And I can actually see your pelvis, Samara. She's kind of a little more here, which is pretty normal. The pelvis tends to go forward. It's kind of the normal, I mean, you know, we want curves, right? So Samara's got a curve in her low back, but probably a little too excessive. So these muscles are more dominant than these, okay? So we need to loosen these up by self-massage and stretching. We'll do both of that today. And then we need to engage the butt and the hamstrings. That's why I do so many bridges, squats, and things like that, because we want to strengthen the back and stretch the front. Okay, so let's get the front loosened up by some kind of roll. Okay, I'm going to use my roll here. Whatever you got, guys. Okay, so come on down. Okay, so hip flexors, breathe. So let's find all around the area, right below the bone, to the left of the bone, to the right of the bone, those two little bony prominences. I'm just doing one side right now, one side. Breathe. So just play around in that area. I'm not getting the middle of the thigh. So it's really that upper part of the thigh where it attaches to the hip bone. Okay, right in there. Really important. Okay, breathe. Does it hurt? Okay, if it does, that means you're probably not focused on this. That's all it is. It's focus. So going back to Patricia's question, it really hurts. Well, if you do this 3 to 5 days in a row, wherever spot, it is going to be 50% less painful. That's my answer, Patricia. So that's why I know you're not doing it. 3 to 5 days in a row, 50% of the pain will be gone. Okay? With breathing, relax. Try to relax your body. Remember, the more stressed you are, overwhelmed, angry, any of those negative emotional states, you will hold on to tension. And it will be really difficult. This is the challenge. Like, oh, I'm going to do yoga today. I'm going to help relax. But if you're not relaxed, you're going to have a lot of trouble getting into those positions. That's the problem, right? So that's why we need to combine the breathing and just let go, and then you'll find that it'll be easier for you to get into these poses for the Sunday movements. Breathe. It'll be easier for you to go deeper into a squat. Okay? Find those spots. Okay, other side. Breathe. And again, you can do this for a while. The more you sit, the tighter these are going to get, and the more forward your pelvis is going to get. And certain activities will make it even worse, right? So like, I think Dane's still a cyclist. Is that true? So cycling makes your hip flexors really tight, right? Because it's sitting. If you travel a lot, you're going to get even tighter in these areas because you're sitting. That's why it's important to have a stand-up desk if you're at the chair a lot, and stand up every once in a while. That's another reason why I don't do certain exercises very often. I don't do leg kicks or scissors. So like these are probably the worst thing you could do. And I'll do them like, every 3 months or something like that, something like this. These things are the worst you could do for low back pain and abdominal stuff. So I don't do that kind of stuff. Or remember these old school things? Like I don't do those for a reason. It's not that I don't know of those. Even sit-ups. I don't do a lot of that stuff because it tightens up your hip flexors. So some of you may think, oh, Brien doesn't do a lot of the core exercises that are targeting my midsection. Well, there's a reason for that. Okay, you don't lose belly fat by doing abs anyway. So why stress your body out doing things that are going to hurt you? Does that make sense? So we want to keep those hip flexors loose, and this is a key thing to do. And I know a lot of you guys have tools right now. Let's bust those out. So keep doing what you're doing, Patricia. But if you have a ball now, we can get in there a little more specifically. Okay, so let's try your ball. So Samara, bring your ball out there. I know Rob's got a few things. So Rob, this is really important for Rob. I know Rob's got some tight hips going on and some decreased mobility in the hips. My mother just had hip replacement surgery last week. Yeah, last Monday. And that's her second one. And again, why do people have hip replacement surgery? There's a few reasons. The hips just, they got more stress over time, and a lot of that is to do with tight feet, tight calves, a lack of mobility in the knees, and then eventually leads to the hips. But I would say for her bigger issue is that she's very uptight a lot, and her body is just locked up. So if you're carrying around a lot of tension for years and years, you're probably going to have some joints replaced. Okay, so this massage stuff is going to help open up areas. We're also hitting very specific acupuncture points. Okay, and that will help you relax those areas as well. Okay, let's get the other side with the ball. Notice how you got a little more specific in there than you could on the foam roll. So foam roll is great, but we can get even deeper and more specific around that little bone. So let's try to get around the bone. Okay, circle it around, breathe. Alrighty, so that's the hip flexors. Let's stand up again. Just another little check-in with the body. Remember, breathing every time. Okay, feet together. All right, let's come down again. Let's test it out. Any difference? Let your head fall. And don't force it, okay? Inhale, feel the belly rib cage expand right now. Exhale, come down. Yeah, just let it go, Amina. Don't bounce, don't bounce. We bounced in the 80s. Yes, you weren't around, maybe. I don't know. Yes, let it go. Let it go. Hang out there for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Feel the belly rib cage expand. Exhale, let your head fall. Let it go. Slowly come up. Alrighty, good. All right, that's our hip flexors, okay? So this is kind of the order of importance too. If you only have a little bit of time, I would say probably calves and then hip flexors if you have that much time. The feet are important. It kind of just depends on who, if you have tight feet or not. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Let's go to the outer hip area. If you have knee pain, again, everything we did is going to be very important first. But the number one reason why foam rolls became popular, this is, I've been using these since maybe about 2000 or so. Something like that. So this is like 20 years of using foam rolls. But the number one reason why it came out was because of knee tracking issues. People would have knee pain. This is the number one reason why foam rolling got popular. And people had knee tracking issues that caused pain in the knees because the IT band was found to be tight, this whole outer band. Okay, that's the number one reason, from my awareness, why foam rolls are in existence today. And now we're doing all these other things with them. So you can't stretch this very well, okay? So it really hurts too. So let's get going. So we want to target the knee, right above the knee, this band of tissue. This is called the IT band, right about here. And then it goes to right about here, and then it turns into something else called the tensor fascia lata, which goes from the mid to the up, okay? So let's focus on the easy part first, which is going to be the higher part. So I'm going to go on my right side. You can do whatever you like. So let's go on the upper hip. And again, I'm just making it easy right now. We're going to work our way into this. So upper hip, everybody's in pain here. So And again, it doesn't matter how much you do it. It'll get better, but there's always going to be sore. Okay? So I'm making it easy. I got my right hand on the ground. I got my left foot crossed over, and I'm able to lift up at any point. Notice, see that? So I'm able to use my hands. I can even use my hands here. So try to do whatever you can handle, okay? So we're at the upper hip right now, upper hip. So especially for you, Samar, when you told me about your back issue, this is a really important one as well. But also remember, where you have the pain is generally not the problem, okay? But this is, could be on the same side. It could be the opposite side. That's a problem too. Let's work our way down to the middle thigh. It's going to start getting more painful, right? So what do you do when things get painful? What's the natural human behavior? We hold our breath. Okay, breathe through it right now. Good, but think about that belly rib cage expansion. The faster you go, it actually is a little bit less painful. So if I kind of go slow, it's going to hurt more. So if you go a little bit faster, we'll increase that circulation at the same time. It won't be as stressful. Okay, let's work our way down right above the knee. This is where it tends to get a little bit brutal. All right, see what I'm doing with my feet now? It's different. Do what you can though. So I'm using my hands, but my feet are off the ground if you can. So Patricia, can you get the outer part of the leg? Yeah, so you're doing the quads. Yeah, you've avoided this area altogether.
It hurts too much. I can't do it.
I know. I do have a way to kind of work yourself into this, but again, take a look, Patricia. I can take my weight off. I'm not even on the foam roll right now. So that's one way. So here's another way, though. What you just did was actually good. So if you just can't handle it, right here, I'm lying on it. See what I'm doing now? Totally different. I'm not putting all my weight on it. I'm resting. So this is a good workaround to work yourself up to dealing with more. So I'm off the roll now. So see what I'm doing? I'm not on the roll. Again, now I'm going to put the roll right there, and I'm just going to rotate right to left. See what I'm doing there? Just work. You're eventually going to be able to handle more. That's called resilience, all right? As we continue adding a little more stress, you become more resilient. And that was one of the things I was going to also talk about was, like, you may be wondering, well, why if I do it more often will this become easier? Well, you'll become more resilient, right? Let's go to the other side. Okay? Your tissues become more resilient. So let's go on the upper hip. Upper hip. So think of it this way. Here's a great analogy. So I used to go to the dentist. This is like probably 15, 20, actually 20 years ago. So I used to go to the dentist, and every time I go to the dentist, my gums would bleed. And they would always ask me, how you doing with your flossing? I'd be like, I'm all right. And I was super inconsistent. Again, every time. I hate the dentist. I still don't like the dentist. But I don't bleed anymore. And there was one thing that really changed. My gums don't bleed anymore, and I don't dread the dentist as much. Let's go to the middle of the thigh. So what happened was, again, 20 years ago, I said, you always tell me my teeth are fine, and, I'm paying insurance money here for dental care. I'd really like to cut out my dental care insurance. Are my teeth good enough to not have insurance? And how much does it cost if I pay cash? If you think about it, it's like if you don't have any problems, why pay a monthly fee if you don't have them, right? So let's work our way down. Breathe. Breathe. Right above the knee now. Right above the knee. Get in there. Especially if you have knee problems, you got to do this. Breathe. Come on. Inhale, exhale. The more you have knee pain, the more likely this is a source of your issue. All right, so I asked the dentist, I said, do you foresee any problems? She says, nope. All you got to do, first she told me it was like cash visit was $150 or something like that. So I'm like, cool. So if I came twice a year, that'd be $300. That's like a savings of $800 a year. I'm like, I'm in. What do I need to do to not have future problems? She's like, just floss your teeth every day. I'm like, all right, I'm in. So I floss my teeth every day. For the most part, I may miss a couple days, but for the most part, I did a pretty good job. And sure enough, the next time I went to the dentist, my gums didn't bleed because my tissues adapted to the stress of flossing. So the more you do something, the better the outcome in terms of tissue. Okay, so again, it's just adapting. Same in martial arts. If I want to get my knuckles, stronger. I want to punch somebody harder. I'm gonna punch into maybe a wooden dummy or a tree type thing, and then eventually my knuckles they're not gonna bleed anymore. Make sense? So that's the IT band, guys. Okay, let's go a little bit faster now. We're gonna go to the groin. Again, related to the knees and the hips. Knees and hips and back. So let's go like this, a little weird one. Okay, right above the knee on the inside now. Can you see me there? My floor's right here. I'm going right on the inside of the knee. Okay, everybody got that? It's an awkward position. I'm on my elbows in like a plank, so I'm here. So pretend you're doing a plank, and then just drop the other leg. And let's just extend the leg here. Extend that leg. Breathe. Yes. So again, this used to hurt me. It doesn't hurt anymore because I do it a lot. Yep. Open up those knees some more. Yep. Wide knees. Yep. I'm going right on top of the meat on the inside of the thigh, right to the inside of the knee. Yep. Right there. Extend that leg out and in. Breathe. Now you want to make it more specific? Add a ball. Add that lacrosse ball. Add that softball. Yes, keep going. So like for me, this is just too soft. I need a harder surface. You know what I mean, Patricia? So I'm going to grab the PVC pipe. This is for those of you who've been doing this pretty consistently. I know Linda's pretty consistent, right? You got a PVC pipe right there, huh?
Yep.
Yes. Did I give you that?
No, I went to Orchard. No, to Lowe's. Yeah, Orchard.
Nice. Yeah, it's like $5, right? $5 to $7.
Yeah, I bought a whole one, and then I gave 2 to Marlene and Cindy.
Yes. you cut them up for the community. All right, let's get to the middle of the inner thigh. So just place in a different spot. Extend it out. Yep. All the way out, Rochelle. Come on. Toes to the nose at the end. Toes to the nose. What do you think, Patricia? Feels better already, right? She's like, I can't do that one. You can. All right, let's get up near the groin. Near the groin. Same thing. Actually, let's just go use your elbows on this one. You can do the extension as well, but just kind of get in that groin area. So if you have trouble with the butterfly stretch, that would be this, right? Butterfly stretch. Opening up those hips. If you can't get your knees to the ground, you should be doing this. Okay, this is the butterfly, if you peek at me real quick. So if I feel tension right here, then you should be doing this, okay? Other side. All right, I'm going to get right above the knee. Right above the knee here. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale down for flexion. Extension. Keep it going, everybody. Remember, when you combine the breathing with anything and everything that you do, it's going to be better. If I breathe while I eat and chew my food and be mindful of the eating process, I'm going to digest better. If I breathe as I'm falling asleep, I'm going to relax my nervous system and allow me to fall asleep much easier. Same thing if I wake up in the middle of the night. Just go to your breathing from the belly rib cage. Let's go to the middle of the thigh. Middle of the thigh. You got it? Nice. Breathe. Extend and bend. There you go, Patricia. I see it. It's working. You're going to feel like a new woman after this. You're going to get up and you're probably going to be a little taller. Anybody else want to be taller? This disc going to be happier. All right, Rochelle's going to grow after this. All right. Okay, let's get the upper part of the groin area. Roll it.
Do you think that's really true, Brian? Because I've been getting taller.
Nice. Are you serious?
I swear to God, I was always 5'3". Now they're telling me I'm like 5'4".
Hey, see? Testimonial. There you go. So Chris, stop doing this. My wife is actually taller than me right now, so
Oh my gosh, this is more painful than any workout.
All right, good. That's good. So let's just check it out real quick. We should have did this before we did that, but here's a little butterfly, right? Let's do the butterfly quickly. So come on into this position here. It is actually, you're right. I used to do this with everybody on the first set. When I used to do personal training, I would basically take them through this routine and tell them, I want you to do this before our personal training session. So if we had a personal training session at 8 o'clock, I said, I want you to arrive at like 7:50. And I'm going slow right now and talking, but we can make this much faster and rhythmic. And it's actually, when you just kind of do it, you just go for it, you will start sweating, right? So open up those hips. Yep. Let me see all of you in that butterfly position. Open up the hips. And here's a little yoga trick for you. So with your feet right now, let's take the feet and turn them towards the ceiling, and your knees should fall a little bit, possibly. You notice how my knees are to the ground now? This works better for folks that have sprained their ankles. The more you sprain things, the looser your ligaments are, which is kind of good and bad. Breathe. Yep. Okay, extend your legs out. All right. Real tall. Let's just fall forward. Let me know how you feel here. This is like the standing position. Take a deep breath in. Feel that belly rib cage expand. Exhale, let it go. Let's hang out here for a moment. Use your breath. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale. So I see a few of you are nowhere close to your feet, right? So Mina, Dane. All right, so notice where you are. See where my hands are? They're beyond my feet, okay? And a lot of that is not because of your hamstrings. Like, you may feel your hamstrings, but usually the hamstrings are not the problem. It's the calves. So the more sore you are, it's probably your calves inhibiting your forward bend. But the other thing is, if you're just kind of stiff, like see my back, see how I can bend and almost touch and bring my nose to my knees? That's like another issue. That's like a postural problem. So we're going to address that right now. So here, notice I can almost touch my nose to my knees because I can bend. But if you're like super stiff, I can't round my back, right? So let's get the upper and mid back. All right. So the upper mid back, if you're always here, I'm kind of locked up, and I become short and tight, and I get very strong in that position. That affects my neck health, my shoulder health, and the ability to bend forward, my back health. Everything goes bad. So first of all, we just need to be more aware of standing or sitting and standing, but sitting is the problem. This is comfortable. This is comfortable. This is not, right? So just do this for me. So lengthen, so your pelvis goes forward, and I get taller. And now I slouch. Bad? Good. And it's all about the hips. So do you remember we foam rolled the hip flexors here? That's super important. Okay? So stay tall and lengthen. So sit on your sit bones, sit on your butt. Bad? Sit on the sit bones. Good. Okay? So that's going to help us get more flexible with that forward bend, but also take the stress out of the shoulders and back. But let's also work on extending the back backwards now, because we're always here. Let's work on extending the upper mid back. So let's do it with the foam roll. Let's get on that upper mid back, and this is a really good one for anybody who's got shoulder issue, neck issue, and back issues. So right around that mid back area, use your feet. We need those feet to push forward and back. Survey the scene, everybody. I'm supporting my head. Support your head. Now I want you to turn a little bit to the right, get the armpit area. These are our pulling muscles. So I can put my knee down and make it easier. So right here, these are our pulling muscles. Those are those pull-up muscles. If these are tight, there's no way you're going to do a pull-up. No way. Even if you're thin. So basically the lighter you are, it's easier to do a pull-up because you don't have to lift as much weight. But even thin people can't do pull-ups because your shoulder mobility is not great. And oftentimes the shoulder mobility is not great because of that bad posture, that rounded positions. And this hurt? You guys feel that? There you go, Samara. Let's try to extend that arm. See what I'm doing with my arm? Let's try to bring it back. Yes. Yeah, this bottom one. Yes. So notice that difference. Yes. So where I place that arm, I got it here. Now I place it here. It's different, right? I can bring this down a little bit. All around there. Again, this could be locking up and creating the pain in your low back as well. It's all connected. My wife's making like Lamaze sounds over here. There you go. Okay, you're doing okay over there. Let's get the other side. All right, other side. Okay. That lat area, it's called your lats. Okay, there's a lot of things going on around here. This is very important for all the baseball players out there, Rob. Breathe, inhale, exhale. Or golfers. Anybody play golf? That could help your golf game. This is all going to help you rotate better too. Okay, notice my bottom hand. I can move it around. Oh, yeah. And again, I can just hang out here too and do this. I don't have to do anything. I can just go here. Just explore. Have fun with it, if you consider this fun. Keep going. We do have a new word of the week, by the way. It's called determined. Determined. It's a lot of syllables. Determined. All right. Okay. Now let's go back to the upper mid-back. Now this one is a key one. I used to do a lot of yoga back in the day, and we would really focus on this for a while in the class. So I have a tight spot, okay? My butt was off the ground. Remember, we're surveying the scene. Okay, let's say it's tight right around there. Now, let's put the butt down and cradle your head. So if you had a neck injury or paralysis or something, you wouldn't want to move it, right? So now we're just going to extend, keeping the butt on the ground, extend with the upper back area right where that foam roll is. Butt's on the ground, everybody. So we're going to go inhale up, exhale, relax. So what we're doing here is reversing the curve, not COVID, reversing your upper thoracic curve because we're always bent forward. This is a really big one for shoulder health. This is going to allow you to do a pull-up maybe one day, if we can open this area up, be able to do more push-ups, and have less pain in the shoulder. Okay? Now let's hang out down here for a moment. Tuck your chin. And now let's add a rotational component. But notice what I'm doing with my head. I'm just supporting it, and I'm extended over the roll. So the roll should not spit out or move. So that's area one, everybody. So this is called back extension rotation. Okay? Back to center. Okay, now watch my feet. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down a spot. I'm going to go down a segment. I'm going to use my feet. That's it. The foam roll is now placed a little bit lower on my mid-back. Still mid-back. My butt's still on the ground. Extend over the roll. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep your neck supported. Inhale up. Feel that expansion of the rib cage. Exhale down. Hang out here. Rotate left. Rotate right. Keep going. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Again, that foam roll wants to spit out, right? Don't let it. Lock it in. What do I mean by lock it in? Means extend over the roll. Tuck your chin. There we go. Final spot. Third spot. Okay? Watch what I'm going to do. Use your feet. New spot. I'm closer to my low back now, but I'm not on my low back. So, yes. Perfect. So, think about 3 spots down the spine. So, can you go a little farther, Samar? I can't tell. As long as you can get your butt on the ground, I know you're on your low back. But if your butt is off the ground, that means you're too deep in the low back. So, butt's on the ground. Now, this is going to be the worst spot. Be careful. Extend about 3 to 5 times. That's the formula. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. If that's too painful for you, don't go as deep or just go a spot up, okay? Keep going. Okay, hang out here. What are we going to do? We just did the back extension. Now let's add the rotational component. Breathe. Ah, good. Inhale, exhale. Oh, goodness. Whew. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep going, everybody. Inhale, exhale. All righty. Now, when we get up out of this thing, we got to be careful, okay? So we can just scoot down, roll to the side. Sometimes if you've not done this before, you'd be like, oh my God, my back hurts. Just come up carefully, okay? Ah, good, okay. Now, let's just take that body through a little bit of a range of motion now. Let's go to that cat-cow, hands under the shoulders, corkscrew the elbows. You're all familiar with the cat-cow. Spread those fingers. Inhale, look up. Inhale. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale up. Let the belly fall. Rib cage, let it go. No tension. Exhale, blow out through the mouth. Feel that belly draw in. Shrink your waist. And right back up. Inhale, look up. Extend your neck fully. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. There we go. Keep it going, everybody. Cat and cow. Notice the new range of motion available from doing our foam rolling. Notice what happens when you're loose before you do these movements that are traditional yoga exercises, okay? Do the, and again, this could be much faster as well. We can do all what we just did in like 10 minutes, okay? You just got to go faster. Inhale, exhale. What was that? Yes, let's go to child's pose because it's like, can we do a child's pose? All right, let's go ahead and reach out, sit back, breathe. Inhale. I want you to feel that belly fall. Let it go. Exhale. And Lori taught me this, by the way. A lot of times we're so focused on keeping the belly in all the time because we want to look thinner and stuff, right? Especially when we want to, I don't know, you're hanging out, you're taking photos or something like that, but we tend to be in that position all the time. So very important, when I say inhale, you let your belly go. Let your rib cage go. Don't try to hold on to it. Okay, and think about that. I found myself after chatting with Lori that I was driving with my belly in. That's like the worst thing you could do. So don't walk around with your belly in. We need to keep our belly in during certain times, but not right now. This is a time to let go. Let's bring your hands behind you. Okay? There's a time to keep the belly in and a time not to. If I'm doing a deadlift or a bent over row, so let's put the hands here. This is more of a traditional child's pose. Inhale. Let your belly fall. Exhale, relax. Let's widen up the knees now. Same thing, just widen up the knees. Yep, child's pose, just let it go. Couple deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Good, just put those arms to the sides now. Yep. How about to the sides, Patricia? Yeah. How about palms up? Palms up. One more deep breath. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, breathe out. Okay, let's bring your hands back up to the all fours position. Let's get a couple downward dogs. So we stretch those, we massage the calves. Now, one of my favorite movements is the downward dog to get those calves to be more flexible. You've already loosened them up. Now, let's just go ahead and do a little pawing dog action. Let your head fall. Let your arms relax. Notice unnecessary tension. Notice if there's tension in your jaw. Notice the tension in your shoulders. Put the weight into your hips. Inhale. Exhale. Drive the heel down. Come on, drive it down. One heel drops and then the other. Let it go. Keep going, team. Come on. Breathe. All right, both heels down. Let's take up your left leg. Let's open up those hip flexors that we rolled on earlier. Arms are straight. Inhale down, both heels down. Right leg up and rotate. Look in that armpit, keeping your arms straight. One more time. Both heels flat as much as you can. Left leg up and rotate. Inhale. Exhale, draw the belly in. Other side. One more time. Up and over. Look into that armpit. Right leg is up. Arms are straight. Try to keep the left heel flat. And relax. Bring it down, child's pose, okay? Let it go. So I love when Lori does those lion's breaths. So what we're going to do 3 of those in this position just to let everything go. Again, we've been talking about letting go a lot, and that is really the key here. And I love the lion's breath because a lot of times people aren't very vocal with their voice, right? Vocal with your voice. So this gives you an opportunity to just kind of let it go. It helps you release tension. So let's do that 3 times. So in child's pose, I want you to take a deep breath in and then just let it go, okay? Let's do number 1. Deep breath in. Feel the belly fall. Ribcage expands. Inhale. Let it go. 2 more. Deep breath in. Feel that belly go in on that lion's breath. 1 more time. Inhale. All right, good. Now, I want to finish up with about 2 minutes. I want you to lie on your back, but if you have a long foam roll, I'm going to have Chris come over here. So I want you to lie on your long foam roll if you have it, okay? We're going to do that Savasana real quick, but we're going to do it a little bit different with a twist. So Chris is going to lie here. If you don't have the long foam roll, just lie on your back, okay? So butt on the roll, okay? And your head is on the roll as well. If you don't have it, no problem. So we want the neck supported. So move forward. That's why the short foam roll doesn't work. Okay? So palms up. If you're on the long foam roll, your knees are bent, okay? If you have no foam roll, no worries. Extend your legs, normal Savasana, okay? All right. So the foam roll is long ways, just to make sure everybody knows that. All right. I want you to notice your positioning right now. I want you to feel the ground. Feel the roll, feel the ground. I just want you to let everything go right now. Yes. So if you have a long foam roll and you had a long day where you were standing or sitting with bad posture, this is a really great thing to do. This is a really great thing to do. We're just letting gravity open our shoulders up. So that's the benefit of the foam roll here. It opens up your shoulders without doing anything. Okay? So with your eyes closed, just breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in. Feel that belly rib cage expand. Hold the breath for a few seconds. And then let it go. Again, we want to let go of tension. Let go of anger, frustration, overwhelm. All those things are part of life. We just don't need to hold on to it. The more you hold on to it, the longer you hold on to it, the more that tension is going to eat at you. The more your muscles are going to tighten up. The more hormonally imbalanced you're going to get. So we just need to get rid of it. Doesn't serve us. And just by breathing, we can let go. By being in good posture, we can let it go. Let gravity help you right now. Bring your attention to your jaw. Let those teeth relax. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Let them go down and away from your ears. Notice your upper mid-back area. If there's any tension, take a deep breath into it. Focus on it. And let it go. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Notice your low back. Let's work our way down. Anything tight? Inhale. Bring in that good energy. On the exhale, bring out of your body any unnecessary tension. Now bring your attention to your butt area, the hips. Are you clenching? Is one side tighter than the other? You could also do a little bit of a roll. I see some of you doing that. It's good. Get a little rhythm. Breathe. Yeah, that's a benefit of the roll too. You can just kind of roll a little bit right, roll a little bit left. All right, bring your attention to your hip flexors. We rolled on those earlier. We stretched them out with that downward dog rotational exercise. Let those go. Those hip flexors get very, very tight every time we sit. So stand more. Massage those areas more. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your attention to those calves. We're working our way down here. The calves, those tend to be engaged all the time. So right now, just make sure those heels are on the ground or your legs are just out to the sides. Inhale, deep breath in. Again, feel that belly rib cage expand. Exhale. And finally, let's think about the feet. Are your toes clenched at all? Do you have any hammer toes that are curled up? Let them relax. Muscles around the feet. We got a lot of those. We really want to let those go. Let them go. That's where that golf ball massage comes in. That's where the hand massage comes in, maybe on your feet. Let it go, everybody. Our word of the week is determined. What are you determined to achieve this week? Think about something. Maybe something you've been putting off. 'Tis the season of change, team. 'Tis the season. It is COVID time. Lots of people are changing around you. Changing jobs. Changing what they really want, what's really important. People are moving. What are you determined to do this week? Maybe not completely do it all, but maybe just take a step in that direction. Let's put one hand on your chest and one on your belly. And just connect. Connect to your heart, or just put your hands on your heart. It's fine too. So at least one hand on your heart to finish up. Connect to that heart right now. Mind to heart connection. Feel that belly, rib cage expand. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Just finish up with thinking about one thing, just one thing that you're grateful for. Remember, whenever you're feeling angry, depressed, frustrated, overwhelmed, put those hands on the heart and think about something you're grateful for. It could be just one thing, and that'll change your emotional state. That'll change everything. And if your emotional state is in a state of gratitude, then you're going to be able to do more and enjoy the process more at the same time. All right, let's roll on to your side. So roll on to your side. All righty. Good. Slowly come up. Good, good, good. Let's put your hands right at your chest here. We'll finish with our traditional heart to hands to heart. And namaste, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Namaste.
All righty. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's enjoy it.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.